So here we have a look at the Poisson 2.0 fixture list for today. So we have our daily Poisson daily fixtures, which is hidden behind a paywall for subscribers usually, but now I'm giving you a peek inside. So this is what you can see for today, April the 26th, and this is the results, or these are the results of the Poisson pack, which we'll have a look at in a minute as well, which is run from my spreadsheet here. So we've got, as you can see, this is what it looks like. You've got the Championship here. We've got some games in League One. We've got League Two. We've got the corner bets, which I've added. There you go. Depends on your internet connection. And we've also got a value bet summary, which is something new that I've started to put on now just to tie things up nicely. And then you've got all the results of the previous Poissons. Well, not all of them because I'm a bit behind in getting them up, but they'll be up soon. So that's what it looks like when you log in to the Poisson Daily Fixtures tab on the website. So at the moment, let's have a look at today's fixtures. There's not a huge amount tonight going on. Only a few English leagues to look at. So it should be quite an easy and straightforward video to go through. So what have we got tonight? We've got Barnsley, Blackpool, Fulham, Forest and Swansea, Bournemouth in the Championship. I think most games have got something riding on them. If we look at Barnsley, Blackpool, Barnsley are already gone, dead and buried unfortunately for any Barnsley fans. They've been relegated with their manager recently sacked as well. Blackpool, actually, this one hasn't got anything riding on it, has it? Blackpool are sort of safe mid-table. It's telling us that there's value in laying Barnsley, arguably, but you're not going to get massive odds on laying Barnsley. But there's value in Blackpool or the draw, and we're looking at a very, very low goal-scoring game according to the past statistics, and this is backed up by the correct scores. Fulham Forest, Fulham already promoted, but still wanting to secure the Championship. And Forest are still in the hunt for the playoffs, or they'll want to cement their playoff place and arguably sort of get a better sort of position, a third or fourth, in order to get that first leg advantage in the second leg. So I won't go through all of them in as much detail because we can see what's going on here. We've got in League One, we've got Fleetwood, Sheffield Wednesday, Portsmouth, Wigan, Sunderland, Rotherham, and as you can see, this is what you get every day. You'll get the fixtures that are on for that evening in the 20 leagues, or there'll be more soon because the summer leagues are being added slowly. You get the over and under, so this is the percentage that we're predicting over and under. That's how it equates to value odds, and these are the real odds on Betfair, with the highlighting showing where the value is. You've got the 5 most likely predicted scores according to Poisson, and then here is where you fill in the Betfair odds for those scores, and it will work out your Dutching. I haven't filled in the Betfair odds, so they're sort of old odds. And then if we have a look over here, we've got also Swindon Forest Green, Mansfield Stevenage, Exeter Barrow and Sutton Crawley, all with their correct odds added, their predictions showing where your value is with your overs and unders, your win, draw, win, and then you've got your correct scores. For this evening, we've also got a couple of corner bets. This is my most favoritist, don't care if it's not a word, market to bet on, and I've made a lot of money over the last week or so. Actually, I was going to make a video on Saturday, was it, or Friday, I think. I had a £10 William Hill, £10 in my account for William Hill. I can't remember why it was there. And I turned it into 100 in one day, and I was going to make a video about it, but I thought it looked really spammy. Like, look what I did! I turned £10 into 100. I did, but I just thought it's not a very attractive video, so I didn't bother. But it was purely on corner betting, in-play corner betting. That was. So tonight we've got two. We've got Fulham Forest and Exeter Barrow that I'm predicting to be over 10 corners. The odds are better for Fulham Forest. The Exeter Barrow 1.83, and Betfair don't offer that market at the moment. When I looked this morning, they weren't offering it. So we nipped over to Bet365 for that one. And so what we've added now, what I've added is a value bet summary. It's a snazzy name, isn't it? I didn't know what to call it. Basically, it's just my musings on what we've just seen in these 3 tabs. So in the Championship, oh God, didn't mean to do that. In the Championship, there are 3 games, and I have actually got something for all 3 games, but that's not necessarily always going to be the case. It's just the fact that I think there's an angle on all 3. Sometimes there might not be an angle on any of the games, and I won't have anything here for those. But today, I'm looking at Barnsley Blackpool. Barnsley being relegated, as mentioned, manager sat, nothing to play for. Blackpool mid-table, nothing to play for. Value in Blackpool to win. and also the under 2.5 goals. I'm not saying that as a dual bet, which I know some bookmakers offer. Blackpool win under 2. I mean, you can do that if you want. I don't tend to like to do those, just because you don't normally get the odds to reflect that you're placing two bets of that value. So basically, you don't get great odds, in my opinion, on those Blackpool to win and under 2.5 goals with so many variables. But so if you treat those as two separate entities, I'm saying there's value in Blackpool to win and there's also value in the unders. Fulham Forest, as mentioned, already promoted, pretty certain of the title. Forest need to cement a playoff place, and they'll want that positioning, as I mentioned. There's value in a Forest win for me. The figure suggests there's value in a Forest win or Lane Fulham, which I would probably take the Lane Fulham because then you get the draw on side as well. So on Betfair, if you want to lay Fulham, that's where I'd be looking. Attacking styles from both teams support the value that's presented in the over 10 corners, which I've got a filter and much like with the draws that gives me matches that are looking highly likely to have a lot of corners. And then I'll have a look at the sort of motivations and the match stats, predictions, lineups and stuff. Not predictions, but you know what I mean. I'll be looking at the state of play for that match to decide whether I think it's value. Fulham probably going to want to put on a bit of a show at home. They're attacking team anyway. They'll be trying to get Mitrovic involved. Forest need to win, really. So they're going to be going forward as well. They're not going to be sitting back and defending like a lot of teams do against Fulham, I don't think. So over 10 corners, I think there's value there. Swansea-Bournemouth. Swansea mid-table, nothing to play for. Bournemouth are battling for second. They need to win. Bournemouth need to win at this stage. A point is not going to be good enough. It could be good enough, obviously, but they're not going to want to rely on taking points at this stage, taking single points. So I think there's value in the Bournemouth win. If we can look at the value, suggests that there's only slight value there, and it might not be something that I'd normally be too enthused by, but the fact that I think Bournemouth is so motivated to win, I'd probably want to be getting involved with that. Sunderland Rotherham in League One. So they both need 3 points for the playoffs and automatic respectively. So Sunderland will be looking for the playoffs and Rotherham automatic promotion. I predict it will be pretty cagey, as these games often are. Sunderland at home midweek is usually a decent sort of atmosphere and a bit of an intimidating place to go. But I wouldn't predict loads of goals, and the stats back this up. Any of these that are in bold, it's not just me saying, I think this might happen. It's where there's been value shown through the Poisson pack, and I'm also sort of looking at it and saying, yes, I think looking at the softer stats that I think that I'll be happy with that value, not just value, but also some reasoning behind it. So I think it could be a cagey type game, and there's value in the under 2.5 goals. And with that one, I'd be looking to sort of get in and out, really, to be drip laying the under 2.5 goals and maybe being out by half time if possible. So that's something to look out for in that one. Swindon Forest Green. Swindon need the points for the playoffs. Forest Green are already promoted, but they will want to finish champions, and they're a good team, aren't they? Hence why they're top and why they're already promoted. And I think there's quite a lot of value there in the Forest Green win. I know that you could say they'll be on the beach, but I don't think that's the case. And I think that's huge value. It probably would have come down by now, to be honest, but there's huge value in that win there. So I'd be looking to get involved with the superior team winning there. Mansfield Stevenage, both teams need points for the playoffs and relegation respectively. So Mansfield, they do look short odds for me, given the Stevenage's motivation to get something out of this game. I think Mansfield are way too short. I think Stevenage have got more of a chance in this than the odds are predicting. So again, I'd be looking at laying Mansfield and giving the draw on Stevenage, giving that my money, to be honest. And then Exeter Barrow, similar to the game above, but the odds aren't as favourable for the lay. Exeter are a stronger team as well than Mansfield, I'd argue, and the league table back that up. So it's probably not as an attractive lay. So they both need points, and the value supports over 10 corners. So the fact that they both need points suggests that they're both going to have some attacking intent, and the filter suggests over 10 corners, and I'm happy to sort of go along with that and look at the over 10 corners for that. So that's the value sort of summary, looking at what's going on tonight. I hope you find that interesting. This is part of the Poisson pack MBM draw. The draws aren't on here. The draws are a completely different system and use a different filter because, as we've mentioned before, Poisson notoriously underestimates the draw, particularly the low draws, the 1-1s and the 0-0s. I don't use it to drive the MBM draw selections. I've got a whole different set of filters that I've been working very hard on lately to try and improve, actually. So that's a separate thing. So you get the MBM draws and then you get all of this as well each day. So yeah, keep an eye on these. Hopefully won't have egg on my face and see that all of these sort of flop tonight, but that's how I'm reading what's coming out of the Poisson pack. I've had a few people email and saying, the pack's great, I love it, it gives me all the details that I need, but then how do I decide which ones to bet on and which ones not to bet on? So for example, if you look at, was it the Championship, was it League One? There was a game, Wigan, for example, a value, and Wigan are a good team, they're top of the league, I think, aren't they? So you could say, why aren't you suggesting betting on that one? I don't think there's a massive amount of value there, and Portsmouth at home are not a pushover. I don't personally think there's enough value there for me to get involved in it. The Rotherham-Sunderland game, you could say there's value in Rotherham winning. Well, yeah, there is, and you could take that line, and that's completely up to you, obviously. Or you could lay Sunderland. I don't think you'll get great odds on laying Sunderland because they're not that short and odd already. And also, I think Sunderland have got massive motivation to get some out of the game, so I'm not necessarily seeing that as huge value. So just because it's highlighted as technically value, because the odds that are being offered are greater than the odds that we're predicting, it doesn't necessarily mean that you want to be betting on it. So this is why I'm sort of showing you how I would go through the selections and filter out value from real value, if you like. So at the risk of rambling for too long, I'll leave you there. If you've got any questions, let me know. Thanks for all your support as always, and take it easy. I hope you're well.